G'day, it's Rowan from Shop Design. Excuse my grubby face, I've been working in the workshop today. In this video, I'm going to make an anvil stand out of timber from my own property. Let's jump on the tractor and we'll go and find that stump. I've had this stump picked out for quite a while now, so I'm just going to mark a level line off the top, cut it off the top first, and I'll cut down the sides, take it off the bottom, and then we'll finish dressing it up in the workshop. Got this thing back to the shop. First step is to choose the smoothest side, get it nice and dressed down and flat, and then I can make the other side parallel. Then I'll square off the other sides as well. Pretty smooth. That's good enough to get started. I don't need this thing to be perfectly dressed either. That's probably about as good as it needs to be. I just want to make sure it's nice and square. Now I'm just trying to get this thing as flat as I can, planing the top a bit, then testing it on this tabletop I've got. It's a fairly nice flat surface, so I can get it on here, flip it over, make sure it's not rocking. The white ants have gone through the middle of this, so I did put some bug spray down there just to kill any that are still in there, but I might fill this with some mortar. I've got a bit of cement here. I'm just going to mix up a basic slurry. To fill those holes. Also got a little bit of oxide powder here too. It's probably not going to match exactly, but just to give it a bit more red colour to match the timber. It's not exactly the right colour, but it'll do. So this is an ironbark, very dense hardwood. It grows on this side of Australia. It's been used for bridges and jetties and railway sleepers. Very durable wood, and it's also very hard to work. Bluntens your tools, so it takes a bit of time to work, and it's also very heavy. It's got quite a nice red colour. Looks a bit orange in this light, but it's add some oil to it and it comes out a nice deep red. The first coat of oil, I'm going to mix it down with a bit of thinners just so it soaks into the timber more. So my anvil is known as a German style anvil, or a South German style. It's got the square horn on one end, the tapered horn on the other. It's got an upsetting shelf on one side, and it's got an extended face out to one side here so you can work on longer pieces. Now the guy who built this anvil told me there's a bit of a misconception around the height measurement. Most people think that you measure it off the fist when you're standing beside the anvil. He told me that's actually for working with multiple people, when you've got more than one person swinging a hammer. But if you're going to be working at the anvil by yourself, you measure it to your hand. Got a bit of 50 by 5 here, looks like it should be a good contender. I'm going to start by welding one corner of this band, and then I'll bolt it into the timber, and then I'll measure off exactly to get the other side. So I'm just clamping this to the side of my steel bench to get both sides completely level. Then I know when I weld it here, these two sides will be completely level with each other. I'm just using simple coach bolts to hold the band in. That's all it needs. You can have the threaded sides that pull in so you can tighten it as the stump gets older, but I've seen gates that have been 30 years old with bolts in them like this and they haven't moved much. If I really need to pull this apart and tighten it, I can just cut it, re-weld it later. Really got to keep it simple. While I'm talking about keeping it simple, some of you may not agree with this, but there's a lot of guys who make mobile anvils on wheels or whatever. Not necessary. I'm going to think carefully where this goes in the shop, and it ain't going to move. I'm guessing most people are the same. If I do need to move it, I can tilt one side, get a trolley under it, move it that way. There's really no point in over-engineering it. Keep it simple. I'm going to dip these in grease, make them a bit easier to go in. And if somebody ever does want to undo these things 20 years in the future, the grease will help them come out. With the final side, I'm going to bolt it in first. Then I can pull in really tight against the timber, and then I'll weld in the corners. I was just having a look in the scrap bin and found this rectangular hollow section. I'll chop a bit off the end and make a nice hammer hole. Well, I've got some threaded rod here I'm going to use to weld to the side of the anvil stand, just to pin down the anvil. But before I can weld them, I'm just going to give them an acid bath so they're safe to weld. Take the galvanised coating off. You just dip them in hydrochloric acid and then rinse it off in water. Spilling over here, it's great. I printed out a few things I found on the internet just to get some ideas. Maybe I'll do something like this guy with his beak closed, and I might change his feathers a little bit. And then I might even do a ring around the outside, but let's sketch some ideas and see how it goes first. So this is, I think this is 0.6, this sheet steel, just black steel. So I'll cut this out freehand now on the plasma gun. See how we go. It'll definitely look a bit rougher than this, but I don't mind the rustic look. Makes it human. So I've got 4 contact points for this piece, both his feet, a little bit of his feathers as well. And then I'll probably pin a nail through his eye to hold him at the top as well. Don't want it shaking around and getting things caught behind it. So I've got the voltage turned down a bit in the welder. I'm just going to tack this in and hopefully it won't burn through. Yeah, that'll probably do it. I'm just going to drive a nail through the centre, and I'm trying not to distort this piece I shaped. I was going to mask all this off so I could spray paint the metal bits, but I can't get paper or anything to stick to this, not even duct tape will stick to this linseed oil, so I'm going to have to hand paint it instead. It meant I had to go and buy a $40 tin of paint to do that. It's an epoxy enamel. It's got a rust-proof agent in it as well. Given the fact that this anvil stand and anvil is going to outlive pretty much every single human being that's currently alive on the planet, $40 is not too bad to spend. The ground is very uneven where this anvil is going to go. That's why I had to build these adjustable feet. The idea is I want to get as much mass through the timber into the ground. So I'll level this out, get it nice and level, and then I'll shim underneath it to take some of the weight and some of the vibration. And then there's going to be tabs, just one tab on each side. I'll dynabolt that into the slab. I don't mind putting bolts into the slab because it's just a workshop, and if I ever want to take it out, I can mortar over it if I need to. Not a big deal at all. So let's get this thing down there and level it off. Still dead level, no rocking. Well, I've made up these brackets. This bit of 50 angle line, paint's still wet so I'm trying to hold it on the edges. Just slip over these bolts, hopefully. Yep, and that will make sure this thing doesn't go anywhere. I've just made up these now pretty quickly while this silicone is still drying. So this will pull it down while the silicone's still wet. And that silicone will just help reduce the noise going through the anvil. Oh, I thought about using a piece of lead, but silicone's cheaper. Well, overall I'm pretty happy with this. The design is good. It's flat on the front here with the tool hangers around the sides and the back, so there's nothing in the way when you're standing at the anvil to work. The height is good. Cutting out this block of timber was a lot of work. It was actually harder than I thought it was going to be. I knew cutting vertically through the stump would be hard work, but it really was hard work. But it'll last forever, and I'll be able to pass this down to the kids. The job's done now, so I don't have to do it again. Look, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching my videos. It really does help me continue making them. Please subscribe if you're not already, and hope to see you on the next one.